In this video, I want to talk to you about the IXL that's currently Algebra 2 BB.1, which is about finding the terms of an arithmetic sequence. We're just focused on arithmetic, and we're going to look at some examples. I've got 6 different types of problems that you might see on IXL when you do this exercise. Before I get started on that, I do want to show you some formulas. Don't need to overwhelm yourselves with these. I want to show you a couple highlights. The first one is that D represents the common difference. When we're dealing with arithmetic, we're dealing with common difference. And all arithmetic means that we have a sequence of numbers that changes by a common difference each time. In this first example, I'm not even going to use any formulas because when I look at this and I see this and this, I have a common difference. So to go from 58 to 49 is minus how much? Well, it's minus 9. To go from 49 to 40 is also minus 9. And so what that tells me is, since we're dealing with arithmetic sequence, I have a common difference. I'm going to keep going down. So that means if I want to find out what this second one is, all I have to do is subtract 9 from the one before it. If I subtract 9 from that, I end up with 76. To find the next one, I subtract 9 again, and that gives me 67. And then you'll notice that if I subtract 9 again, I'll get to 58. So it's going to work by having a common difference. And so that's all I have to do here. Let's take a look at another example. Fill in the missing numbers to complete the pattern. This time you'll notice I have a couple gaps here, okay? So hopefully it's not too scary to see that if this is arithmetic, then we're adding 0.1. And you can probably tell that, well, that's got to add twice, and so it's adding 0.2. So you can kind of see that what would be in the middle of that gap would be 1.6. And then this would be 1.8. So this one's really easy once you realize that it's going up by 0.1 each time. In this next example, I have decimals. It is going up each time. And again, it's arithmetic. It's going up the same amount each time. So what number is it going up by? Well, it's going up by, again, 0.1. 0.1. And so what's the next one going to be? It's going to be 6.03, and then 6.13, and then 6.23. So again, I didn't have to use these formulas. I wanted to show them to you because they are on a lot of formula sheets, but you don't need them. Now, to kick it up a notch, we're dealing with fractions. And all this wants to know is, what is the next fraction? Before this gets overwhelming, we need to recognize that we have a common difference. It's going up or down by the same amount each time, but it's hard to notice that when they're not common denominators. So the first step is going to be to get common denominators. So instead of 1/5, I'm going to write this as 4 over 20. And instead of 1/2, I'm going to write this as 10 over 20. And so if I were to think about the next number, it would be what over 20? So let's see. 1 to 4 is plus 3. 4 to 7 is plus 3. And 7 to 10 is plus 3. So 10 to, well, 13. So we end up with 13 over 20. And that is our final answer because it says simplify, but 13 is prime. So we're going to work out just right there. So at first glance, it looks a lot harder than it is until you put them in common denominators. So if you're dealing with fractions, then put them in common denominators. Here's another one with fractions. Again, you're going to notice that they're not common denominators, so I'm going to get them all to be a 42 on the bottom. So that means I'm going to make that, instead of a 21, I'm going to make it a 42, but that means on the top it's 8. This 3 over 7, what do I need to multiply by? Well, I need to multiply by 6 to make it 42. So I'm going to say 42, and on the top, it's going to be 18. So I go from 8 to 13 to 18 to 23. So I'm going up 5 each time. So I'm going to go up 5 more, and I get 28 over 42. If you type this in to IXL, it will count it wrong. And why? Because it says simplify. So if we simplify this, what can we take out of both of these? And the answer is we can take out a 7, right? We could take that down to 4 over 6. We can actually take out more. We could have taken out a 14 from that one. So we're going to take out 2 more, and I end up with 2/3. Make sure you simplify your answer or it will. Level 6. This is the most difficult one you're going to see here. It's not fractions, but the only thing that makes it a little bit more difficult, notice that we have both ends that we're solving for. But again, if we notice that this is arithmetic, meaning it's going up or down by the same amount each time, well, then we just need to work our way there. So this is plus 9, plus 9, plus 9, and that gives me 44. If I were to subtract 9, keep going the other way, then I'm going to end up at minus 10, right? Minus 9, minus 9. And that's going to be my final answer. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe for me, and you'll get my updates. And when I do more of these videos, you'll get a notification, which will be awesome. Thanks, guys.